Most people spend their lives chasing money, approval, or someone else's vision, and they wonder why success always feels out of reach. Here's the truth. Nothing external can make you successful if you aren't first investing in yourself. When you prioritize your mind, your skills, your health, and your purpose, you unlock a power that no circumstance, no obstacle, no person can block. The moment you decide that you matter, the universe begins rearranging itself to match your focus. Doors open, opportunities show up, and people who once ignored you start taking notice. But here's the catch. This doesn't happen magically. It takes discipline, intentionality, and the courage to put yourself first every single day. Focus on you, grow from within, and watch as success becomes inevitable. Because when you prioritize yourself, success can't ignore you. You know, most people never realize the power they have until they start putting themselves first. It sounds simple, but it's revolutionary. We live in a world where everyone tells you to serve first, to sacrifice, to give until you're empty, and they make it sound like that's the only path to success. But here's the truth. If you don't prioritize yourself, you're running on empty and you're trying to pour from a cup that's already dry. You cannot give what you do not have. You cannot lead if you are not strong, focused, and clear about your own path. And yet so many people are surprised when they keep spinning their wheels, wondering why opportunities pass them by, why success seems to elude them. It's not because the world is against them. It's because they are giving away the very thing they need most, themselves. When I say prioritize yourself, I'm not talking about selfishness in the shallow sense. I'm talking about strategic self-investment. I'm talking about valuing your time, your energy, your mind, and your health in such a way that nothing and no one can hijack your progress. Think about it. The most successful people in any field didn't reach the top because they served everyone else first. They reached the top because they mastered themselves. They built their skills, sharpened their focus, and invested in their growth before expecting the world to respond. And when you operate from that space, something incredible happens. The world begins to match your level of commitment. Opportunities show up, doors open, and people begin to recognize your value without you having to beg or plead for it. Let's talk about time for a moment, because this is where most people fail. Time is your most precious currency, more valuable than money, more powerful than connections, and more permanent than fame. Every day you allow yourself to be distracted by things that don't matter, endless social media scrolling, toxic conversations, obligations that aren't yours. You're draining your power. You're giving away a piece of yourself that can never be recovered. And then when you don't see results, you blame luck. You blame the system. You blame everyone else. When the truth is staring you in the face, your own attention and energy were never aligned with your destiny. Prioritizing yourself means taking control of your calendar, your habits, and your environment so that everything you do moves you closer to your goals, not further away. Energy follows attention. That's a law you can't ignore. Whatever you focus on, whatever you feed, grows. If you spend your days focusing on other people's problems, other people's success, other people's drama, don't be shocked when your own growth stalls. But when you focus on yourself, on your skills, on your health, on your mindset, on your purpose, you create a magnetic force around your life. You attract opportunities, relationships, and resources that you didn't even know existed. You don't have to chase. You don't have to beg. When you prioritize yourself, success chases you. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but won't that make me selfish? Won't that make me a bad person? Let me tell you something. You are not selfish for taking care of the most important asset in your life, yourself. Imagine if every great leader, every great entrepreneur, every great athlete ignored their own development and put everyone else first. There would be no innovation. There would be no breakthroughs. There would be no legacy. Your ability to contribute, to give, to serve at a high level depends entirely on the foundation you build for yourself. You cannot pour greatness into others if you have not first cultivated greatness within. And here's another truth. Prioritizing yourself is not a one-time decision. It's a lifestyle. It's waking up every day and asking, what action today moves me closer to the person I'm capable of becoming? It's setting boundaries that protect your time and energy. It's saying no to the things that do not align with your purpose, even if it makes people uncomfortable. It's investing in your mind through learning, in your body through care, and in your spirit through reflection. Every small step compounds over time, and before you know it, the person you were yesterday cannot compete with the person you've become today. That's power. That's unstoppable momentum. The people who achieve extraordinary success are not the ones who try to be everything to everyone. They are the ones who know their value, honor their time, and invest in themselves relentlessly. When you operate from that space, the world has no choice but to notice. Opportunities will show up. People will respect your boundaries. Your influence will grow. And success? It will no longer be something you chase. It will be something that finds you. So start today. Decide that you are worth the investment. Protect your time, guard your energy, sharpen your skills, cultivate your mind, nourish your body, feed your purpose. The moment you truly prioritize yourself, you step into a force that no obstacle can stop, no doubt can shake, and no person can ignore. Because when you prioritize yourself, you are no longer living on borrowed power. You are living on your own. And that, my friends, is where true success begins. You see, most people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack clarity. They wake up every day trying to run a race without knowing where the finish line is, trying to build a business without a vision, trying to live a life without understanding what really matters to them. And the result? Frustration, disappointment, and a sense that life is just happening to them instead of through them. The moment you gain clarity, everything changes. Suddenly, the distractions that once consumed you start to fade. Suddenly, decisions become easier, opportunities become obvious, and your path forward lights up like a beacon. Clarity is the engine of progress, and without it, effort is wasted energy. Clarity begins with understanding yourself. Who are you? What do you truly value? What is your purpose? Not the purpose other people have told you to chase, but the purpose that ignites passion in your own heart. Most people never take the time to ask these questions. They go through life letting other people's opinions, other people's expectations, and other people's definitions of success dictate their direction. And it leaves them tired, confused, and frustrated. But the person who gains clarity stops being reactive. They stop letting life push them around. They start making choices that are aligned with their vision, and everything they do begins to produce results instead of just noise. Once you are clear about what you want, clarity begins to guide your focus. You see, energy follows attention. When your attention is scattered, your energy is scattered. But when you know exactly what you're aiming for, your energy becomes concentrated, and suddenly your actions are not just motion, they are momentum. Every call you take, every meeting you attend, every minute you spend is either moving you toward your vision or it is moving you away from it. And the difference is not small. The difference is everything. Clarity allows you to cut through the confusion, the clutter, and the chaos so you can move with precision. Clarity also gives you confidence. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, hesitation disappears. Fear loses its grip. Doubt becomes temporary instead of permanent. You no longer question whether you should take a step forward. You know that step is in alignment with your vision, and you act. Think about it. The most successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait until they feel 100% ready. They have clarity about their destination, and they move. Even when the path is uncertain, clarity provides direction. Even when the world is noisy, clarity gives you the ability to hear the signal. Another aspect of clarity is knowing what to say no to. Life will constantly present distractions, detours, and demands that do not serve your purpose. And here's the trap. If you don't have clarity, you will say yes to all of it. You will exhaust yourself, dilute your energy, and confuse your own progress. But the person with clarity sees the difference. They know what aligns with their vision and what does not. They say no without guilt. They protect their time, their focus, and their energy because they understand that clarity is the foundation of their victory. Every no is a brick in the road toward their goal. Clarity also sharpens your decision-making. Life is full of choices, and not all of them are equal. Some will move you closer to your vision, some will move you further away. Without clarity, every decision becomes a guess. With clarity, every decision becomes a strategy. You can assess opportunities, weigh risks, and take action with confidence because your destination is clear. You no longer stumble blindly, you navigate intentionally. You stop wasting time on what doesn't matter and start multiplying results on what does. But here's the thing. Clarity is not a one-time achievement. It is a daily practice. You gain clarity by reflecting, by asking yourself hard questions, by measuring your progress, and by recalibrating when necessary. Every day you commit to understanding yourself, your goals, and your values, your vision becomes sharper. Your path becomes brighter, and your ability to execute grows stronger. People who achieve extraordinary results aren't extraordinary because they never face confusion. They are extraordinary because they have learned to regain clarity quickly, refocus, and act with purpose. When you understand that clarity precedes victory, everything changes. You stop chasing the wrong things. You stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter. You stop waiting for motivation or luck to appear. You move with confidence, with precision, and with purpose. And when you combine this clarity with action, relentless, focused action, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Victory begins in the mind. It begins the moment you know exactly what you are aiming for. Without clarity, effort is scattered, energy is wasted, and success is delayed. With clarity, every step is intentional, every decision is aligned, and every action compounds into results. So take the time to understand yourself. Define your vision. Sharpen your focus. The clearer you are about who you are and where you're going, the faster you'll get there, and the world will have no choice but to make room for your success. Because clarity is not just a tool, it is the pathway to victory. One of the most powerful truths in life is this: energy follows attention. And yet so few people live as though it's real. They waste their attention on the wrong things, complain about lack of energy, and wonder why they can't seem to get ahead. Let me tell you something. Your energy is not random. Your energy does not come from luck or chance. Your energy comes from what you focus on, where you place your attention, and what you allow to consume your mind. If you spend your days feeding worry, fear, distraction, or other people's drama, don't expect your energy to create success. If you give your mind to things that don't matter, your power will go where your attention goes, and it will vanish into the things that have no return on your life. The truth is, whatever you focus on grows. It grows in your mind, it grows in your emotions, and it grows in your results. If your attention is on negativity, obstacles, or the things you cannot control, you will feel drained, frustrated, and stuck. But if you shift your attention to what matters, your purpose, your skills, your growth, something incredible happens. Your energy aligns with your focus, and suddenly your actions start producing results you never thought were possible. This is why the most successful people in the world are not necessarily the ones who work harder than everyone else. They are the ones who know where to place their attention and refuse to let anything steal it. Let me break this down. Every day you are bombarded with distractions. Social media, news, other people's opinions, obligations that aren't yours. And every time you let your attention wander, your energy follows. That's why people feel tired and overwhelmed, even though they may not be doing physically demanding work. It's not their body that is drained, it's their mind. And when your mind is drained, your results are limited. But when you learn to direct your attention deliberately to choose where your focus goes, you reclaim that energy. You turn it into fuel for your dreams, into momentum for your goals, into power that cannot be stopped. The moment you understand that energy follows attention, you realize the importance of being intentional with every thought, every moment, and every action. It means no more mindless scrolling, No more giving your energy away to people who don't appreciate it, and no more wasting time on things that don't move you forward. It means carefully choosing where you place your focus so that your energy works for you, not against you. Every minute you spend worrying about what someone else is doing, comparing yourself, or dwelling on problems that are out of your control is energy lost forever. And that is why so many people struggle. They have the same hours in a day as everyone else, but they spend them feeding the wrong things. When you focus your attention on growth, learning, and action, your energy multiplies. It's like a chain reaction. Your mind becomes sharper, your decisions become faster, and your motivation builds on itself. You begin to attract the right opportunities because you are operating at a higher level of energy than everyone else around you. People notice it. They are drawn to it. And before you know it, your life begins to shift in ways that seem almost effortless because the energy you're putting out is aligned with your purpose. Here's another truth. Distractions are designed to steal your energy. The world doesn't want you to focus on yourself, your growth, or your goals. The world wants your attention scattered. But when you understand that energy follows attention, you start protecting your mind like the precious resource it is. You guard it against negativity. You guard it against time wasters. You guard it against people who drain you. Because every moment of your attention is a seed that will grow, either into results or into regrets. The choice is yours. And let me be clear, attention is not passive. It is active. It requires discipline. It requires intention. You have to decide every day what you are going to feed your mind. You have to choose where your focus goes and refuse to let it wander. You have to remind yourself constantly that the quality of your energy is determined by the quality of your attention. When you do this consistently, your energy becomes unstoppable. It propels you forward. It creates momentum. It makes challenges seem smaller and opportunities seem larger. When you grasp this principle, you stop blaming circumstances for your lack of progress. You stop waiting for motivation or inspiration to appear. You stop wondering why life seems harder for you than for others. Instead, you take control. You focus on what matters. You feed your mind with thoughts that empower you, not thoughts that drain you. You align your energy with your purpose, and suddenly the world begins to bend to your attention. Doors open, people respond, opportunities multiply, and your results reflect the power of your focused energy. Remember, energy follows attention. Where your attention goes, your life flows. Protect it, direct it, invest it, use it to build the future you deserve. And once you do, there is no limit to the level of success, fulfillment, and impact you can achieve. Because when your attention is on the right things, your energy becomes unstoppable. Most people never realize the power of boundaries. They think boundaries are walls meant to shut people out, or that setting them is selfish. But here's the truth. Boundaries are the bridges to your breakthrough. They are the lines you draw around your time, your energy, your focus, and your purpose so that nothing outside of them can drain you, distract you, or derail you. If you don't set boundaries, life will set them for you. And when life sets them, they are often harsh, painful, and limiting. You get caught up in other people's drama, other people's agendas, and other people's chaos. And before you know it, you are exhausted, frustrated, and stuck, wondering why your life isn't moving forward. Boundaries are not about limiting others. They are about protecting your ability to perform, to grow, and to create the life you deserve. Every great leader, every successful entrepreneur, every high achiever you admire has mastered this principle. They understand that saying yes to everything means saying no to their most important priorities. And the most important priorities are always you, your purpose, your goals, your vision, and your growth. When you protect these priorities, you create space for results to flourish. Without boundaries, even the best intentions get lost in a sea of distractions. With boundaries, even small efforts compound into massive breakthroughs. Think about your energy for a moment. It's finite. Every person you meet, every request you get, every unnecessary obligation consumes a piece of your energy. If you give it all away, there is nothing left to invest in what truly matters. Boundaries are your way of saying, I respect myself enough to protect my energy, my time, and my focus. And when you start doing that, everything changes. You stop feeling overwhelmed. You stop being pulled in 100 different directions. You start moving with purpose, with clarity, and with momentum. Boundaries are also about focus. Life is full of noise. Social media, news, opinions, endless meetings, and even well-meaning friends and family can distract you from your path. If you let every voice dictate your choices, your energy becomes scattered and your results suffer. But when you set boundaries, you choose which voices matter and which ones don't. You create an environment where your attention is protected, where your focus is sharpened, and where your energy flows directly into building the life you want. That's how breakthroughs happen. Not through luck, not through effort alone, but through deliberate protection of your most powerful resource, yourself. Boundaries also teach others how to treat you. People often test limits until they are clearly defined. If you never set them, people will continue to take more than you are willing to give. But when you establish clear boundaries, you command respect without needing to demand it. You show the world that your time is valuable, your focus is non-negotiable, and your growth is your priority. And the more consistently you enforce those boundaries, the stronger you become, and the faster your life begins to shift. Now, setting boundaries is not always comfortable at first. People may push back, question your decisions, or make you feel guilty for saying no. But discomfort is temporary. Growth is permanent. The breakthroughs you achieve when your time and energy are protected far outweigh the temporary friction you may face. Every boundary you establish is an investment in your future success, in your mental clarity, and in the life you are building. Boundaries also create space for innovation and creativity. When your energy is constantly pulled in 100 directions, your mind has no room to generate ideas, solve problems, or create opportunities. But when you guard your attention and your focus, your mind becomes fertile ground for breakthroughs. Suddenly, solutions that once seemed impossible appear clear. Opportunities that once felt out of reach become visible, and your ability to act decisively multiplies because your energy is no longer scattered. Boundaries are not about isolation, they are about alignment. They are about aligning your actions, your relationships, and your commitments with your purpose. They are about saying yes to what matters and no to what doesn't. And the more you practice this, the more effortless success becomes. You stop trying to do everything for everyone and start doing what truly matters for your life. You stop reacting to the chaos around you and start creating momentum that propels you forward. Remember, boundaries are not restrictions. They are accelerators. They create the conditions where focus, energy, and action can compound. They protect your vision from distractions and your potential from compromise. They allow you to show up fully, perform at your highest level, and achieve the breakthroughs you were meant to achieve. And when you consistently honor your boundaries, the results are undeniable. Breakthroughs are born not from working harder in a noisy world, but from protecting your time, energy, and focus so that every action you take is aligned with your vision. The stronger your boundaries, the more unstoppable your progress becomes. Because boundaries do not limit your life, they expand it. You can have all the clarity in the world. You can have your focus sharp. You can protect your energy, set boundaries, and prioritize yourself every single day. But if you don't act, none of it matters. Action is the multiplier. Action is what transforms potential into reality. It's what turns dreams into accomplishments. You can plan, strategize, and prepare forever, but without consistent, deliberate action, you're stuck in the same place you've always been. And most people fail not because they don't know what to do, but because they don't do what they know. The gap between success and stagnation is not knowledge, it's execution. Think about it. Every idea you've ever had, every goal you've set, every vision for your life means nothing if it's trapped in your mind. A vision without action is just a daydream. A plan without execution is just a paper with ink on it. The world does not reward intention. It rewards results, and results come from doing consistently, deliberately, and persistently. The person who acts even imperfectly gets ahead of the person who waits to feel ready, the person who hesitates, and the person who lets fear hold them back. Action is also the antidote to fear. Most people never act because they are afraid. Afraid of failure, afraid of rejection, afraid of looking foolish. But here's the truth. Action beats fear every single time. The moment you take the first step, fear begins to shrink. The moment you move forward despite uncertainty, confidence grows, momentum starts building. And the longer you wait, the louder fear gets and the heavier it weighs. Action creates clarity, courage, and progress all at once. The person who acts may stumble, may make mistakes, and may encounter obstacles, but every step forward teaches them something, sharpens their skill, and brings them closer to victory. Consistency is where action multiplies results. 1 step is good, 100 steps is better, but it's the daily, repeated action over weeks, months, and years that compounds into the breakthroughs most people never see. Small efforts may seem insignificant at first, but when multiplied by persistence, they become unstoppable forces. Every call you make, every conversation you have, every skill you practice, every problem you solve, these are not small things. They are building blocks of momentum, and momentum is the secret weapon of people who achieve extraordinary success. Action also creates opportunities. The person who shows up, who works, who moves, attracts opportunities that the passive person will never see. When you are in motion, the world responds to you. Doors open. People notice. Resources appear. But if you are waiting for permission, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for luck, you will stay invisible, stuck, and frustrated. Opportunities rarely come to the idle. They chase the active, the intentional, and the committed. Action is your signal to the universe that you are ready, capable, and worthy of what you desire. Success is not handed to those who wait. It is earned by those who do. It is created by those who show up, who work, who persist, who refuse to quit, and who are willing to move even when conditions are imperfect. The person who takes action gains confidence, momentum, skill, and influence simultaneously. And the greatest reward of action is this. It proves to you in real time that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. You discover strengths, resilience, and potential that remain hidden until you step forward and engage fully with your life. So, start today. Take the step you've been putting off, make the call, send the message, start the project, speak your mind, invest in yourself. The first move creates momentum. The second move strengthens it. The 100th move compounds it into a force that cannot be stopped. Every action, no matter how small, carries the power to transform your life when taken consistently and deliberately. Because action is the great multiplier. Without it, vision is wasted, focus is wasted, and potential is wasted. With it, results are inevitable.